I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's a lie. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a special Sunday edition of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight as we are getting ready for a very special presentation. We are super proud that these guys have decided to come on board. They want to work with us, which is absolutely epic, quite frankly, because tonight we will have the Killer Shrimp 200 as part of the Let's Race series. Let's Race, a very interesting concept with still about 8 minutes left in practice. We're going to talk to some of the folks from the Let's Race program, but got to tell you a little bit here about Killer Shrimp. The story of this is so darn cool. Basically, this Killer Shrimp is a Southern California restaurant brand. Started out feeding surfers and the hangers out on Venice Beach with a one dish, one dessert kind of menu type place. The counterculture icon of the 60s, rocker Lee Michaels, created the dish called Killer Shrimp for his family, and they've now grown it into this absolutely incredible brand that exists legendary in Southern California. Now out on Marina Del Rey. I wish I was there tonight instead of sitting, well, quite frankly, anywhere other than Marina Del Rey. Actually, they just had their second of 5 car shows for the year, so hopefully we'll get to talk to those guys about that a little bit as well. But the Killer Shrimp brand, definitely cool people. We thank them very, very much for their support of Let's Race here this evening. You'll see cars are out on the racetrack. Let's tell you a little bit about what you're going to see in tonight's Killer Shrimp 200. Heading off to the Michigan International Speedway, located in Brooklyn, Michigan. And we'll pop some graphics up here on the screen. Why not? We'll tell you a little bit about it here. Michigan Speedway originally opened in 1968, 18 degrees of banking. Its sister facility is the Auto Club Speedway, located in Fontana, California, just outside of Los Angeles as well. As we mentioned, 2 miles of racing, and this place was a staple on the kart schedule for many, many years. Produced some very good racing in kart. On the iRacing platform with the Lotus 79s, it is going to produce insane racing. This is a non-points race, so no championships on offer here. There's a very big prize that we will be discussing here with the folks from Let's Race. 200 miles is the distance, 83 laps, so a little bit less than 200 miles. But cautions will be controlled by an administrator, and there's a reason for that. They are putting a bunch of money into this, quite frankly, because of the prize that's coming up for the race in August. Restarts will be single file. There will be one attempt at an overtime finish here tonight. Anticipating only one pit stop. One of the things about the Lotus 79, especially when you put it on a big flat oval like this, it really babies the tires. You don't have to work them very hard at all. So possibly no tires, maybe a right rear only or right side tires only. There's a lot that's going to go into this when it comes time for pit strategy. But basically, one stop, run it all the way out until it's empty. Short fill for the final stop and get back out onto the racetrack. Should keep everybody bunched up fairly closely. Down to 4.5 minutes left in the practice session. And Bless Lopez, currently the quickest on the board. Let's take a look here, and we will pick up Austin Baker as he makes his way into turn 1 and 2. Several cars coming back out onto the racetrack with the drivers' meeting just finishing up. Baker out of St. Petersburg, Florida, driving for All Seeing Motorsports. But Snorkeler Soft Goods, Overhead Surf Shop, and AB Powder Coating, the sponsors on the side of that number 28 machine here this evening. And for those of you that may not be as familiar with the National Racing Network and how we choose to do our broadcast, there's a lot of good ways to do them. We think ours is pretty darn spectacular here. We'll bring you up the side-by-side. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll have the 73 of Drew Holleran out of Roswell, Georgia for Grand Slam Motorsports. We're going to be able to show you a lot of what's going on here. One of the other ones that we really like to try and do a good bit is we will pull up the same driver but show you the onboards. Give you a feel of what the driver is seeing out the front of the race car. Give you a look out the gearbox as well. You can hear the car topping out. It is up on the chip. And one of the sponsors for tonight's race, we have to say a big thank you to, is the RIL. Those guys coming on board, the Revolution Indy League, providing the setup for tonight's race. Oh, and this is going to be interesting. We are hearing 28 to 32 laps on a tank of fuel. That may... I can do quick math in my head. That makes this a two-stop race, which is, quite frankly, going to be pretty interesting here, especially if you have to try to make those stops under green flag conditions. You'll see not much loss in terms of the speed here. You can really run this place 3, 4, sometimes even 5 wide. You can get these Lotus 79s, and they are going to have the grip. The Lotus 79 was the ground effects car that carried Mario Andretti to a Formula One World Championship. One of Colin Chapman's most brilliant pieces of engineering to come out of the 1970s, the big period of aero development in Formula One, at least the earliest days of aero development for Formula One. Oh, man. You just saw Austin Baker there. He was sideways off of turn number 2. You can catch it. You can save it. You can definitely have a whole lot of fun with it here. Give us a shout in the comments, by the way. Let us know where you're watching from. Who's your pick to win tonight? Thank you, everybody, hanging out on YouTube and on Twitch here this evening with us. No surprise here. Dakota DeMeg moving to the top of the charts. Dakota regular in the TNT Special Event Series. I believe he's run the Lotus 79 in the vintage Indy race, and I could be mistaken on that, but Dakota, very, very quick. Every car he sits in here. Sunset Arctic Gaming going to be on the side of Dakota's number 82. The other car that's up there, I believe... See, some of the cars are not necessarily numbered right for us here. Let's see. Actually, let's do this one, too. Down to 30 seconds or so remaining in the practice session, but we'll get the ticker up on the screen for you as well. Let's see. I believe this is the 17 of Rhett Nichols making his way out onto the racetrack. Whittington Brothers Racing with Road Atlanta on the side of that machine. Rhett is driving tonight for the Team Watson Degenerates team. The third sponsor is allegedly on the car. That is the Central Intelligence Agency. If you know anything of the story of the Whittington brothers, yes. Rhett Nichols out of Fairmont, West Virginia, by the way. Time now for qualifications. Oh, and it's open qualifying. That is spectacular. Man, does that put a smile on my face. We're going to see Rhett Nichols head out onto the racetrack. Dakota DeMay, Daniel Miglin, Rhett Nichols, Austin Baker, Chris Kresge, Joshua Tucker, D.L. Lemon, Joshua Benjamin, Ryan Freeman, Mike Stroll, Frank Kusick, Brandon Wenger. You know some of those names from our Fuel Premier Series and Sim Racers Club broadcasts. Les Lopez, John Gervin, James Watson's in this one as well. Julian Altena saying, bought the car an hour ago. That's fantastic. Enjoy the show. Hopefully I got your name right there, Julian. I know I butchered it for a season and a half of TNT, I guess it was. All right, let's pull up the tower. And we'll start to see these laps come in a big time hurry. That is one of the things about the Lotus 79 at Atlanta. Good Lord, we got to widen this out. This is a full-on pack. First laps coming up on the scoreboard. It's going to be DL Lemon was your quickest. Now Brandon Wenger to the 36.746, 36.74 with a 6 for Brandon Wenger. DL Lemon, Rhett Nichols, Joshua Benjamin, Ryan Freeman, your top 5 as it stands right now. Outside of the top 3, everybody else about a quarter of a second back. But as they jockey and duke it out in qualifying. Okay, yes, so I butchered your name in Ezra, not TNT. There we go. There's 3 and 4 wide through turns 3 and 4. About halfway through the qualifying session. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. Big dive down to the inside. Oh, man, these are going to be some quick laps coming in now. Still going to be Brandon Wenger at the top. A little bit surprising. At a 36.543, 36.790, the lap time record for DL Lemon. Rhett Nichols, Joshua Benjamin, Daniel Miglin. Holding on to the top 5, going to be Dakota DeMay, Ryan Freeman, Brent Kusick, Chris Kresge, and John Gervin. Rounding out the top 10. Keep your eye on the second pack of cars. Let's take a look here and see if we can find some of those guys here. Let's bring up the side-by-side. That is Mike Stroll leading the pack down the front stretch. There we go. Ryan Freeman leading this in the middle of this second pack that's coming in. This is where things are going to get interesting. As that second pack starts to close in, we could really see some heaters coming in. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in qualifications. One car getting all the way down to the apron, try to cut as much real estate off the racetrack as you possibly can. still going to be Brandon Wengert on lap number 1. In fact, he's parked it. Wengert on pit lane. Good Lord. We got to cut to this one. They're 3 and 4 wide. Well, now they're going to settle themselves back down just a little bit here. Holy cow. Dakota DeMay going to jump up to second quick. Oh, man. Again, 3 and 4 wide. Pick up Ryan Freeman. I think that's Ryan Freeman. Well, maybe not. There we go. Now we got this big second pack. Down to the final 15 or so seconds in qualifications. Let's take a look here and see if we can't bring Mr. Kevin Missig into the room here. Second quick going to be Drew White at a 36.644. Qualifications are just about done here. And Kevin, should we spill the beans here on the big August race prize and mention one of the sponsors for tonight's race, the Spec Corvette Series?
So, we will race and
oh, what huge wreck. Kevin, you've gone a bit potato here, brother. Okay, we're going to drag Kevin back to the race control room. We'll come talk to him in just a little bit here, but the prize for the August race, a real-world drive in a Spec Corvette Series automobile at one of the racetracks in Southern California that will be coming up for the Spec Corvette West Division. That is so darn cool. Let's Race, the entire point of the Let's Race program is to get people into real-world race cars. That is the entire point, is take the virtual racer and say, let's move you and put you into something in the real world. And they're putting their money where their mouth is with basically a track day drive in a Spec Corvette car with a couple $100 included to help cover your travel expenses, at least a little bit, to Southern California. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Taking a look here and waiting to see when we see some of our drivers here on pit lane. There we go. They are starting to fill in, and that means it is time to show you the starting grid for tonight's race. Brandon Wengert will be your quick timer with a lap time of 36.543 seconds for the Killer Shrimp 200. Lining up to his outside, Drew White out of Indiana. Dakota DeMay, Ryan Freeman on row number 2. Rhett Nichols and Daniel Miglin on row number 3. D.L. Lemon and Chris Kresge on row 4. Joshua Benjamin and Julian Altena on row 5. Row 6 will have Brent Kusick and Nate Siefker. Slide on down here. We will pick up row number 7. That'll be Austin Baker and Miles Morse. Mike Stroll and John Gervin on row number 8. James Watson, Joshua Tucker on row 9. Row 10 will see Drew Halloran and Bless Lopez on the starting grid. Matt Houston lining up should be all alone on row number 11. Matthew Short, Kevin Missig are our race control race directors for tonight's festivities. So should be 21 cars lined up on the grid. And it is time to go racing here. I have to say a big thank you as well for our poll award tonight. Anthony Wendler, check out his YouTube channel in the description. He's putting up $5 already, cash going out the door here as part of the Let's Race Killer Shrimp 200. Was looking at Anthony's channel today, doing a lot of sports gaming, a lot of the NBA 2K stuff, some WWE stuff, obviously some racing content on his channel as well. Check out his channel, youtube.com/Mr. Sketch Cup Series, or just click the link down there in the video description. Prizes on offer for tonight's race. Race winner's going to get $20 in a Let's Race t-shirt. Second place, $10 in a Let's Race t-shirt. Third position, $5 and the aforementioned t-shirt. Best finished with the lowest average incidents per lap is going to get $5. And as we mentioned, the $5 pole award going out the door to Brandon Wengard, courtesy of Anthony Wendler. Some of the rules of the road. The apron is fair game. If you are determined to be the reason the caution flag comes out, you're going to get a black flag. You do it twice, you're getting DQ'd, you're out of here. iRacing Sporting Code is going to be in effect. One backup car will be available. So you're not completely hosed if there is an early race incident. As we mentioned, live race stewards, no pit limiter. That one's going to be fun watching these guys try to get off at turn number 4. But as always, race fans, the start of the Killer Shrimp 200 going to be all yours. An absolute screaming pack of Hornets off turn 4. They're 4 wide exiting turn number 4. Lap number 1 will go in the books, and it will be Brandon Wengard. But he may not stay there for long. Rhett Nichols having to look to the outside. Well, I'll say inside middle, as we've also got Daniel Miglin, Dakota DeMay going to be there as well. This battle's going to stay very, very tight. Oh, my goodness. 3 wide battle for the race lead. How about 4 wide back behind them? Some very cool throwback paint schemes out here as well. Race leader Brandon Wengard running an old Budweiser scheme, a Mario Andretti-esque livery on that one. We mentioned Rhett Nichols and his Whittington Brothers throwback. Looks like Brandon Wengard's still going to be able to hold on to the race lead down at the inside of the racetrack. Dakota DeMay up the gut. He wants a piece of the action. How about we go 4 wide for the race lead? That was Daniel Miglin. I can talk, people, I promise. 3 laps already in the books. Your top 10 are separated by, how about your top 11 separated by 1/4 of a second at the start-finish line? Oh, buddy, they're getting a little bit loose there up the middle. Right middle of the pack. That is not where you want to be losing the race car. And do you like Talladega and Daytona? Man, you're going to get all that and more here. Oh, hold on to it, Dakota. He got a bump draft down the back straightaway as Miglin moves to the race lead. DeMay trying to get into his draft as Wengard having the peek down to the inside of the racetrack. Lap number 4 is complete. We are working lap 5. Oh, big trouble. 1 car going around. That's going to be Daniel Miglin. That will bring out the first caution flag of the race. Miglin stuck in the catch fence. One of the Team Watson racing cars tumbling down to the inside of the racetrack. That was Miles Morse. Oh, my goodness. The big one junking race cars here on lap number 5. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Daniel Miglin was the race leader. See, 1 car kind of diving up the gut. Oh, big time contact. Miglin gets spun around, launched into the catch fence. Oh, man, Julian Altena had nowhere to go there as well. We're going to take a look. Well, let's see. Let's file this one along from Miles Morse. Yeah, Miles, unfortunately, had nowhere to go either. Car got hung up. Oh, man, then he flips it over a couple of times coming off the catch fence. That was a big hit. Let's go on board. Actually, no, we're not going to go on board because we may end up with people getting motion sick. Let's go on board here with Julian Altina. I'm through it. I'm not through it. Oh, man, then he got big old Puntorino there as well as he was coming down. Trying to grab the gear, but unfortunately, a lot of these cars are going to be on pit road and having to take the tow. Interesting. We have got everybody coming down pit lane. DL Lemon, Matt Houston electing to stay out on the racetrack, as does Drew White. But the vast majority of your leaders coming down the pit lane. Show you the side-by-side here as we get the battle off of pit lane. And it will be Rhett Nichols winning the race off of pit lane over Brandon Wenger, Dakota DeMeg, and Nate Siefker. But DLM and Matt Houston, Drew White electing to stay out on the racetrack. We got to get the comment up here from Zena Hemmels. I'm not sure who you were rooting for, but it looks like your favorite may be in some trouble. Let's take a look here. Let's see if we can't talk to Rhett Nichols. I don't know that you're the guy I should be bringing into the booth here, Rhett, because I quite frankly have no idea what's going to come out of your mouth at this point. But what are we thinking of the racing at this point? Is it as insane as you might have thought it would have been?
I think we're taking it easy right now. I mean, we're only going 4 wide. This track can fit about 7 or 8 wide, so I think we need to get a little bit more aggressive up here up front and get the pedal to the metal a little bit more.
That sounds absolutely insane. Notice everybody coming down pit road. Any reason for that? Is it just a fuel strategy game a little bit to make sure you're topped off?
They gave us unlimited tires, so I'm going to use unlimited tires. I don't know about strategy. I didn't think that far ahead.
All right, bud. Well, thank you much for checking in with us. We appreciate you hanging out, and good luck tonight here, brother.
Thank you very much. You too.
There you go. There's Rhett Nichols, one of our in-race reporters. We have a handful that we will talk to over the course of the race here tonight. Let's see. All right, we'll try Kevin Missig again here. Kevin, let's see. Hopefully you are able to hear us talking to us. Any word from race control on penalties for that one?
Yeah, we are going to be issuing a penalty here in a second, yes. So we have our decision, and it looks like the 65 is going to be the one that's going to get a black here.
All right, well, sounds good, bud. We will drop you back up into the race control room here. That number 65 belonging to Brent Kusick. Maybe a little bit overly optimistic, but that is the first black flag of the race. And there it is. There's the message as the pace car going to duck down onto the pit lane. Car 65 going to the back for avoidable contact. We're getting ready for the green flag to come back out here, and DL Lemon will lead the field back to green. Lap number 9 is on the board. Very quick move to the inside by Matt Houston. Matt, I believe one of the proprietors of Race First. Those guys do a pretty darn good job up there in the broadcast booth. I don't think they hold a candle to what we do. No, I'm just kidding, Matt. Fantastic work. Check them out on YouTube. What is on the side of Matt Houston's race car here? Trying to see what's on. I don't have any information on it. A hand-drawn Matt Houston Raceverse. Well done, Matt. 3 wide into turn number 1. Rhett Nichols going to be up the middle. He'll be the race leader. Got a little bit of a help there from the draft. Brandon Wengert also going to get a little bit of a shove. Nichols slides up the racetrack. Here comes Wengert back down to the inside. Everybody's going to have a pile of drafting help. Matt Houston already falling back to the 6th, 7th position. He may fall even further. God almighty. The draft is just so effective here. I believe Bless Lopez is driving a throwback Apple computer livery. We'll take a look at that one here in a minute. But right now, the leaders are 4 wide for the lead. Rhett Nichols said they weren't trying hard enough. Um, 90210 is checking in. I'm not sure what I think of this. If almond milk can be called nut juice, then peanut butter is sticky nut juice. I got nothing. I got a 3 wide, almost 4 wide battle for the race lead. Brandon Wengert down to the inside. Rhett Nichols. How about Mike Stroll getting up there? He wants a piece of the action as well. Stroll, one of the regulars out of the Fuel Premier Series. Out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for Domination Intimidation Racing. How about it? Get that race car up to the front there, sir. '22, and Nate Siefker also going to be there. Good Lord, they cannot do this for the next hour or so. There's just no way. You wonder if there's not a handful of cars hanging out here towards the back saying, no, thank you. Going full Joe Gibbs at Talladega. I do not need any part of this. Let's go on board here with Mike Stroll. Stroll, that black and silver car right in the middle of the pack here. Middle of the second row, 3 wide. Oh, man. Everybody slicing, dicing, and all over the place in this one. Still 3 wide for the lead, but it's going to be Stroll, at least for the moment, having the clear view out the front end of the number 8. Not so much anymore. Stroll going to be back to 3rd as Wengert goes to the race lead. Siefker had a great run down the front straightaway, but not going to be credited with leading the lap. Our timing and scoring is having a difficult time keeping up with this. Oh, man, now there's a second pack of cars that's starting to form up here. We'll go back to the side-by-side look. So we got the main pack on the left-hand side of your screen. That is your race leaders. The second pack on the right-hand side. Oh, man, this is absolutely insane. All right, let's go back to the full screen view here because now the entire pack is all lined back up together. Only 18th place Brent Kusick, who was at the tail end of the field, and then Ryan Freeman, Daniel Miglin, Miles Morse. Those cars all being scored laps down. Everybody else is in this main pack. 90210. You have no... Oh, hold on to it! Wow, what a save! That was Rhett Nichols and Nate Siefker right at the front of the field. Both of them sideways into one. Here comes Bless Lopez up to the inside. Yes. Every bit of yes in this one. Practice race finishes have been 4 and 5 wide for the win coming off of turn 4. Rhett Nichols says they can get 7 or 8. I don't know that that's actually true, but I think they're going to try it tonight. You put some cash on the line, and these drivers will go absolutely ballistic. For the moment, your race leader is Brandon Wengard, Mike Stroll, Bless Lopez, Dakota DeMeg, Rhett Nichols, the top 5, but that's changing every couple of split seconds, quite frankly. Big move. Man alive, who was that white car up to the outside? That may have actually been one of the lap cars, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, Daniel Miglin, I believe, getting right back into this, trying to get back on the lead lap organically. He knows there's going to be a caution, and the car was very fast. Christian Jasper checking in, saying the RIL had a 5 or 6 wide finish here. This is going to be nuts. Yes. Oh, one car going around is going to be Miglin again. Huge wreck towards the back of the pack. They are going to wad up a ton of race cars. Julian Altena going to get slowed down. They're still tumbling and falling upside down. James Watson getting around it as well. Unfortunately, Rhett Nichols got a big piece of the action, as did John Gervin. 65 of Brent Kusick going to be good. But, oh, man, 21 of 83 laps in the books. And we've got still cars spinning off the backstretch. On board here with James Watson. Oh, yeah, he could see it. Down to the inside, and oh my goodness. The carnage. That's Daniel Miglin sliding upside down. Just about losing his head. Let's take a look. We go back to the live look here. There's Miglin getting spun around. Huge hits. Wow, Rhett Nichols really went for a ride, as did Miles Morse. Okay, so it wasn't Miles Morse. Joshua Tucker was one of the cars. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we are getting the replay on board with Joshua Tucker here. Wow. Oh, man, he's still getting hit. Absolutely wild wreck there as your race leaders are going to make their way down pit road. 902-1 owned. Yes. You're winning. DW, it's what we've all been fearing, boys. Yes. I would agree with you here, Christian, saying very smart move by James Watson. Yeah, there were a couple of guys towards the back of the pack that really decided, I don't need to play with this. I just don't need to deal with it. And by getting out of the way, kept themselves out of a lot of trouble. So we'll take a look here and keep our eye on things at the front of the field. Mike Stroll will be your race leader coming out of pit lane. Brandon Wenger, Joshua Benjamin, Nate Siefker, and Chris Kresge will be the top 5 as we work under the caution flag. Let's see here. Who do we want to talk to? Here we go. We've got one. Let's bring him down into the booth to discuss avoiding the insanity that was that last incident. Mr. James Watson. James, 1, how did you avoid it? And 2, was that the strategy to just hide at the back there a little bit?
Yep, I saw all of them like 4 wide. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a no for me, dog. So I just put it around in the back. And when I saw the smoke, I just moved towards the grass and just came to a complete stop and prayed. And yeah, I was able to just kind of weave past the aftermath and get through it all nice and unscathed. Thank God, thankfully.
I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with you here, bud.
Yee.
I believe...
Oh, wait, I know. It's not my paint scheme. I know why. I'm just borrowing it from another member of the team.
You're killing me.
Yeah. Wait, no, look at the back of the wing. Look at the back of the wing.
Yes, I do see the back of the wing.
Yes, and that's the important thing. Nobody can really see the side, but everyone else can see the back of it.
Except for everybody on the broadcast.
The competition can see it. That's what matters.
James, you're awesome, buddy. Good luck here tonight, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah, brother.
So there's James Watson talking about getting through the insanity and the carnage and everything else. Oh, man, they're going to go full Colton Herta on this restart. Very, very slow down the front stretch. All the way through the restart zone before we grab the gas. Finally, Mike Stroll sees the green flag. That was very, very late. That's going to let Nate Siefker challenge to the outside, and he'll claim the top spot. Also, Benjamin and Wengard going to be there as well. That almost worked to perfection in really separating the pack out here, but unfortunately the draft is just too huge. Christian Jasper checking in. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we'll get there eventually at some point. Great racing here, though, at the front of the field. Stroll, Benjamin, Wengard, Siefker, Bless Lopez, Dakota DeMeg, James Watson going to be there as well. Down to 57 laps remaining. Actually, we'll call it 57 and a half laps remaining. Some of these cars are going to be good on fuel. The longest run we've made tonight was 22 laps, which, quite frankly, isn't all that long of a run to have made. Oh, let's grab you the side-by-side here. Absolutely epic battles going on in 2 packs here. Your lead cars, 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Benjamin Stroll, Wengard at the head of the field. Mike Stroll going to be able to push his way through. Let's take a look, get you some detail on the paint schemes here. The throwback IRL Goodwrench scheme for the Domination Intimidation racing car of Mike Stroll. Pretty sweet. Joshua Benjamin in a good one as well. Is that a service merchandise car? No, I don't think so. It's an anime livery, but kind of looks like the old service merchandise cars that Willie T. Ribbs and a couple of others. Interesting question here from Christian Jasper. Did Siefker pass before the line on that? They're not using the restart zone, so I think he's going to be okay. And he would have gotten a black flag. Oh, man, that's tight. These guys just so wobbly as they start to enter the tri-oval. Lap number 29 is on the board. We'll go back to full screen with your race leaders. Still great battling here at the front. The second pack, we got to show you this one side by side. The second pack is racing just as hard right now. DL Lemon at the head of that one, along with Drew Holleran. But they are definitely losing touch with the race leaders. Potentially by choice. Oh, Christian, you're killing it in the comments here tonight, bud. 3 wide, 2 rows deep at the front of the field. I'm eager for IndyCar ruled restarts in iRacing, whenever that may be. 7 years from now. The only problem with IndyCar officiated styled restarts is that there really is no officiating on them. So long as somebody's not airborne, I think it's good. Oh, a little bit of right side romance. That was Joshua Benjamin getting up into Mike Stroll at turn 3. A little bit of a bobble coming out of the corner. That's going to allow Stroll to catch right back up. And it will be Mike Stroll leading lap number 31 at the line. Abject insanity around the Michigan International Raceway. There you see it a little bit in the big box. 2 full packs of race cars making their way around this 2-mile oval. 9 laps into this stint. Still have a handful more to go before we get to the longest run of the night territory, that one being the second stint, which went 16 laps. We mentioned a little bit earlier about the prize for the August race. There's also going to be a July one of these Let's Race events as well. Voting is pretty much wrapped up here. I believe we will see the IR18s at Road America. Looks like that's going to be the next one, which is, again, another great car and track combination. The August event is going to be unlike anything you have ever seen here on the iRacing platform. Will be a cash entry doubleheader event with the grand prize featuring a track day in a Spec Corvette. We're going real world driving if you pick up the win in August. Oh, that is going to be so cool. That car and track combination will be up for a vote. Oh, 4 wide back in the pack. That's not smart. Oh, they got through it, I think-ish. Hashtag allegedly. We're not talking about the sponsors of the Whittington Brothers entry either. Very neat tie-in here because NRN picked up hopefully is picking up the coverage of the Spec Corvette Series. Again, that is real-world racing. We had the event a few weeks ago at the Auto Club Speedway in Southern California. They're actually this weekend out at Lake of the Ozarks Speedway in Missouri running their first national event, bringing drivers in from across the country to run the Spec Corvettes. Kevin Michaels, one of the drivers participating in the Spec Corvette Series, his family is the founder of Killer Shrimp, the title sponsor of tonight's Killer Shrimp 200. Once again, also need to say, caution is out. Yellow flag is on the speedway for the 3rd time tonight. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Only got 13 laps in on this run. Pick up your race leader, and looks like trouble for Joshua Tucker. Oh, big hit. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. No, thank you. I will not need to do that one again. but that will back everybody up. Oh, man, Christian, don't say that you're going to come run the IR-18 at Road America. That's a bit of a tease there, brother, because, quite frankly, pretty damn spectacular in that car and at that racetrack. These drivers will be in for their money's worth if we're going to have Christian Jasper piloting one of those cars. That was absolutely wild. What an insane hit for Joshua Tucker. Let's see. Let's see if we can't bring him down into the booth with us here.
Tar line, bottom tar line, comes past the second. Then that code, and then we hit. Like, if anything, it's a racing incident. Like, that's all I was going to say, but that's not a black on anybody.
Wait, hold on. You're in the broadcast booth now with us, but I love the fact that you're juiced up about this. So basically what you're saying was netcode got you and kind of really nothing you could do. You weren't in VR, by the way, were you?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just, like, you know how the netcode will do its thing when tars get close? It kind of just sucks you in and you get the contacts. It was kind of one of those. Like, we were both trying to ride that low tar line, and we just kind of met in the middle. And, you know, it's just netcode. No big deal. It was fun, though. I mean, it's been a blast. A lot of pack racing.
Yeah, it looks like it's been fun. I'm glad that we had to check in, make sure you weren't in VR, because, quite frankly, you'd probably be throwing up all over yourself or something. Good to hear that.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal, man.
Yeah, the way that car snapped, good Lord. All right, bud, well, we will let you back to race control there to discuss that with, well, the admins. Brent Kustik and Mike Stroll staying, no, actually, they did stop as well. But Brent Kusik going to be back on the lead lap. We do have the lucky dog in effect here tonight. And the drivers do have a fast repair available. Now, if I remember correctly, you have to have the fast repair selected before you tow in order to take it. Otherwise, the car's not going to be able to move out of the pits. But, yes, Christian's Dunyan rings. Oh, that's awesome. So, Brent Kusik, after being an early recipient of a black flag for avoidable contact, he will now be your race leader. Quite frankly, pretty impressive. So we are approaching the halfway point, working at lap number 39 of 83, 44 and a half still to go. Huge shout out to everybody that is watching on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Yes, we've got, okay, there's one comment that I can see on YouTube, but Stephen Thompson, thank you very much for being a member on YouTube. We appreciate it. Lotus 79 on ovals is always an underrated combo. Yes. Thank you. Julian Altina, we're going to get this one up here as well. He is checking in. I believe this was from Pit Road at the time. This is some intense shit, man. Holy cow. Yes, it is. Green flag's coming back out. Y'all go ahead and crank it up back there at home. Once again, two packs starting to separate themselves. How about Bless Lopez? The pass in the grass. Had the race lead at the line. We'll see if he can keep it into turn one. He does. Mike Stroll, Brandon Wengert, Brent Kusik, Chris Kresge, now your top five. Kresge driving out of the RIL stables. I have to say a huge thank you there to Chris for their support of tonight's event by providing the setup that all of these drivers are using. Chris is another guy, very, very talented in anything that resembles an IndyCar. Saw him pick up a win earlier this season in the TNT Shock Series. That will be coming back after we'll call it a summer hiatus. With so many people traveling and vacations and stuff, it's tough to get a full field here on the summer weeknights. So TNT Shock Series taking a little bit of a break, but we will be running on iRacing. Throwback to the Fastmasters series of the early 1990s. Mercedes-Benz GT3 cars at any variety combination of ovals. They are as fun as they sound. We cannot wait. That series should be coming back, or kicking off, I should say, in 2 weeks, 2 Tuesdays. Just past the halfway point. Cross flags were up last time by the flag stand, and it was, I believe, Brendan Wengard leading at the halfway point. No prize on offer for that one. But man, these leaders are just incredibly intense right now. Got to bring you up the side-by-side because there is a second pack that is that has formed up here as well. They will be led by Rhett Nichols, Austin Baker, James Watson, and Dakota. Oh, huge! The leaders are wrecking down the back straightaway. Oh, there's even more cars plowing in now. Huge hit for Mike Stroll. He's still tumbling. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I am... Oh, man, do we look at this one in the cockpit cam instant replay? Because... Oh... Take a look and see what happened here. It happened right at the front of the field. Contact between Bless Lopez and Mike Stroll. Bless getting thrown into the catch fence, and Stroll just gets absolutely drilled. Oh, he got hit twice. On board with Mike Stroll. Sky ground, sky ground, sky ground, sky ground. Oh, man, tough break for Mike Stroll, landing upside down as well. He's going to have to take the toe back in. And here come your leaders down pit lane. Looks like Chris Kresge may have been caught up in that. Brent Kusick is still on the racetrack. Yes. Xena, yes. Now, here's the problem that a lot of these drivers are going to have. They can't, you only have one backup car available. A lot of these drivers have used that backup car. If you forgot to uncheck it during one of the pit stops, oh well, tough luck. That is absolutely going to be an issue as we get later into this race. Right now, Austin Baker staying out, and he will be your race leader. All-Seeing Motorsports, but Snorkeler, Soft Goods, Overhead Surf Shop, AB Powder Coating on the side of the number 28 for the St. Petersburg, Florida native. Running in the second position is the 73 of Drew Holleran. out of Roswell, Georgia, for Grand Slam Motorsports. Currently running in third, the 66 of Matt Houston. As we mentioned, Matt, one of the best paint schemes in the race here just because it is so hand-drawn. I love the paint job, Matt. Absolutely perfect. 78 of Joshua Benjamin out of Battle Creek, Michigan, will line up in the 4th position for the restart. He's got some anime, but they appear to be fully clothed, so we don't have to worry about hiding that one from the YouTube censors. Sunset Arctic Gaming and Raceverse on the side of the car for Dakota DeMeg in the number 82. Dakota going to restart in the 5th position. Running 6 will be the 15 of Drew White out of Greenfield, Indiana for Team Watson Racing. TWR Let's Race Sunset Arctic Gaming on the side of that one. Man alive. The Sunset Arctic colors with the Team Watson Racing colors. The only thing that could be more appropriate is if it was a DuPont Rainbow Warrior paint scheme. Color overload. James Watson lining up in the 7th position, the Ohio native. Project Alien, Team Watson Racing setups, and the National Racing Network on the side of that car. Lining up 8th will be Culver City, California's DL Lemon for Sim Racing Associates in the Sugar Ripe Prune Special with HP Engine Development. I love it. Oh, I appreciate the shout out there on the side of the car as well. The Sugar Ripe Prune Special. That is awesome. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It will fly this time, and we are down to 12 cars remaining on the lead lap. Les Lopez going to be scored a couple of laps down, as is Brandon Wengard, Mike Stroll, Chris Kresge, and Rhett Nichols. Miles Morse going to be 5 laps down. 6 down, well, maybe. Ryan Freeman. Now you're starting to get the crunch time, though. 31.4 laps to go. Rhett Nichols saying, make sure we get him under green flag as an in-race reporter. That sounds like an absolutely terrible idea, but it almost makes me want to drag James Watson into the booth with us. James currently running in the 4th position, way up there towards the outside of the racetrack. Only Dakota DeMeg running higher. Matt Houston, Austin Baker going to be at the front as the field works lap number 49. Our big race leaders, Mike Stroll and Brandon Wengard, both being scored laps down. Stroll led 18 laps, Wengard led 16. But we have a completely different race right now. After the incident off of turn number 2 that took out the vast majority of the race leaders, these drivers are now going to have to settle in and get to the end. That's going to be the most critical thing here. Make sure the race car is there at the end. Strategy games are out the window. They should be good on fuel. At least I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. Oh, one car quickly diving off down pit lane. Not sure who that was. We'll take a look, but it's going to be Matt Houston in the race lead. Oh, and they're crashing again in turn 1. The leader's upside down. Huge incident. Brandon Wengard going to be involved as well. Take a look and see what happened here. This was almost 2 incidents. Oh, again, Netcode doing its thing. Hard hit there. Oh, in fact, to the point that Brandon Wengard got stuck in the safer barrier. Look a little bit further back in the pack. Wow, what a save by Miles Morse. How in the world? Hold up. iRacing top 10 save of the year. I'm good. We're cool. Look at that. Ain't no thing. Oh, my goodness. What a save. Bless Lopez, however, unfortunately, he went off the track in a very big way. He got down to the inside. Big hit there from one of the other race cars. Matt Houston, yes. What a tough break. Matt was having such a good run at the front of the field. Unfortunately, it's going to end up on his lid at the inside of the racetrack. I tell you what, I think everybody is coming down pit road this time too. Race leader looks okay. DL Lemon, however, has an absolutely junk nose on that race car. That should be a repairable thing. Jonathan Gervin also on pit lane. Again, same deal. If you can come in and get tires, Gervin stopping just a little bit short there in the box, as well as Nate Siefker. Looks like he's also going to take tires and maybe a little bit of repair work as well. DL Lemon down and away. How about it? Nice stop there for the Sugar Ripe Prune special team. He will be the first car off pit lane. Shiny new yellow wing on the front of that number 5 machine. He's going to head back out onto the racetrack. I haven't talked about this guy a ton here, the 65 of Brent Kusick. Out of Charlotte, North Carolina, he is your race leader for Domination Intimidation Racing. Le Coq Sportif is the sponsor on the side of the 65. I have no idea what that means. I don't speak French. Maybe if Sebastian Kinder's watching, he can chime in the comments. We talked a little bit about DL Lemon. He's running second in that Sugar Ripe Prune special. That puts a smile on my face and probably a lot of other old guys. Jonathan Gervin running in the 3rd position right now in car number 24 out of Livonia, Michigan. Domination Intimidation Racing, Pepsi, True Hockey, and Pearl Drums, the listed sponsors on that machine. Julian Altena checking in. Being a good sport about this. I got engine damage. Gonna try towing to see if iRacing's wizard fixes it. Hopefully. We need the dudes. Restarting in the 4th position will be the 15 of Drew White. We talked about him a little bit. Out of Greenfield, Indiana. Running in the 5th position, car number 78, that's Joshua Benjamin out of Battle Creek, Michigan. Also talked about James Watson, so let's move back to the 7th position. 22 of Nate Siefker, another of the Team Watson racing cars. They are an armada everywhere they go. 73 of Drew Halloran. Taking advantage of either Lucky Dog or the wave around, but he's going to be coming around towards the back of the pack here. And Julian Altena is back on the racetrack. Oh, that's fantastic. I got his name right finally, but there's no way I get the rest of this right. Out of Enschede Overschissel, Netherlands. I hope I didn't totally butcher your hometown, but I'm sorry. Altena Autosport with Velocity Online Racing. Velocity Online Racing, the listed sponsor for Julian Altena. Field going to make their way down the front straightaway. The 5th place car, Joshua Benjamin, way out of line. Looks like he may be falling to the back as we get ready to go green. And we're down to 11 minutes remaining. We may not get all of this in. 19 laps to go and 11 minutes, 28 seconds left on the clock. This very well could be a timed race here, especially if we get another caution. Kusick and Lemon going to be side by side down the back straightaway. That's the battle for the race lead. Siefker, Gervin, Watson, White, Holleran, Altena, and Benjamin going to be the remaining cars on the lead lap. Mike Stroll just coming across the start-finish line. He's actually going to be just ahead of your race leaders. Stroll also at the very tail end of the lead lap in the 10th position. He needs a caution flag here, and unfortunately he may not get it. Love the call, by the way, to put an hour time limit on this. It forces drivers to not be knuckleheads. If they're watching the information box in the F1 of the heads-up display, they'll see that the clock is starting to run down, and maybe it's time that you have to make a move. You can't go to the back. Now, on the other hand, if all you have up is the relative, well, you're kind of out of luck. But that's one of those things where the better drivers, they will be able to manage that information. Some will even have dashboards, whether it's on an Android device, an iPad, an old iPhone, something like that, where they can see all that, the dash information on a separate screen. Some that are running triples will have a timing and scoring monitor up above the center screen. The drivers that are in VR are a little bit more out of luck here, but Mike Stroll going a lap down to DL Lemon, but he's going to fight back, and he will be on the lead lap. How about it? 4 wide at the start-finish line, 26 to go. Oh, my goodness. Who was that down to the inside? Was that Sifker? Good Lord. He was 2 tires on the racetrack, 2 tires on the apron at the entry to turn number 1. And the deal for Mike Stroll here is he wants to be on the lead lap. So if there is a yellow, he's going to he gets to cycle all the way around and pit when the leaders do, as opposed to having to wait and then falling in at the tail end. So it is important that Mike Stroll stays at the head of the field. Oh, man, almost banging wheels with DL Lemon. Oh, man, they're doing it again. I don't know if that's left side loving or right side romance, but it's one of the two. But it's going to keep Mike Stroll at the front. Big dive down the inside. That was Sifker again. Stroll doing his best to block the leaders. Not going to happen this time by down the front stretch. How about Nate Sifker having to look to the outside? He's getting the shove from Brent Kusick down towards 1. Almost a little bit of contact there between Lemon and Stroll once again. Stroll really racing hard at keeping the car on the white line. The leaders can only complain so much if you are very predictable as a lap car. If you're sliding around in your lane and doing all that kind of stuff, the leaders kind of have a right to be a little bit agitated with me. However, if you're holding that line and just running the white line all the way around the racetrack, really not much that the leaders can complain about. You have every right to defend a position. Line starting to form up behind the Sugar Ripe Prune Special of DL Lemon. A little bit of Brent Kusick hung out to dry at the top of the racetrack. John Gervin going to be the first car in line behind Lemon. Now Mike Stroll slides up the racetrack just a little bit, back down below the apron. He's going to hold that car right on the white line as they head down the front straightaway. 3 wide battle for the second position. Big run for Nate Sifker. He's going to be right there, and we have, it looks like, 10 cars remaining on the lead lap-ish. Mike Stroll kind of getting swallowed up here. That's going to put him back in the pack with a big move by Nate Sifker. Down on the apron, down the back straightaway. Stroll's going to be right there, trying to fight back once again. 6 minutes, 40 seconds, or 22 laps to go. Field running 37.3s for the average. So could get this one in, maybe. I still think we're going to come up about 10 laps short. We could. No, we're not quite at 10 to go yet. We're at about 12-ish laps to go here, as we are down to 6 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. In fact, let's switch the ticker over here. show you how much time is left in this race as well, because I don't think we're going to get to the end. It's going to be close. Yeah, it looks like my math is telling us we're going to be about 10 laps short of getting this one in. So these drivers back in the pack, they have to be knowing that and really pushing hard. Oh, 4 wide. Again, 4 wide. There's only 8-9 cars left. Oh, there's contact. Kusick and Lemon going to hold on to it. Little bit of left side loving from Kusick at the entry to turn 1. Everybody stays clean. Drew White down to the inside of the racetrack. That's the DuPont colors, number 15. He wants a piece of the race lead. Nate Sifker is there as well. James Watson hanging out on the inside lane, just waiting. Leaving room, let everybody else wreck. And when they start to slide up the racetrack, you get by down to the inside. And he's got a lane if he wants it. As we stay 4 wide through turns 1 and 2. Oh, man. They got the old guy's blood pressure up over here. Top 4 continue to battle. Drew White going to have to slide back to the 4th position behind new race leader Nate Sifker. Sifker hoping to pick up his 4th lap lead of this race, but it's going to be tight at the line. It will be Sifker getting his 4th lap lead, but by the time they get to turn 1, he's back to almost 5th. This is insane. Three wide pace laps at about 197 miles an hour entering turn 3. Big dive down to the inside by Sifker. He tried that one for late in the race. I don't think he had it at the line, but it was close. Sifker, though, able to hold on to the race lead. That was a pretty slick move. Do that at the 1 to the go. Oh, big hit! Huge into the outside wall. Oh, we're wadding up several of the leaders. Mike Stroll going to be involved in that as well. And it looked, caution does fly. Yellow is out with 3 minutes to go. So much passing. Holy cow. Let's take a look and see what happened here off of turn number 2. Oh, man, looked like Netco jumped up and bit him. Massive hang time for DL Lemon. Brent Kusick going to be involved in that as well. Mike Stroll went for a ride. Drew White got a big-time piece of that as well. On board with DL Lemon. Grabbing gears the entire time, which is impressive. Unfortunately, does not stick the landing. He will head back to the pit area. And now, with 2 minutes left to go, this is a question of, will this race get back under green flag conditions? If race control can get the command issued quickly, we could see this race get back to green flag racing. But if they don't go 1 to go this time, I think we might be over. Lights are still on the iRacing safety car. There will be a lucky dog. And it appears right now, based on the drivers that are on pit lane and exiting pit lane, we have 5 cars remaining on the lead lap. They will be led to the green by Nate Sifker. Apologies if I am absolutely butchering your name, Nate. Jonathan Gervin will line up second for the restart. James Watson, Joshua Benjamin, Drew Holleran. Looks like also Julian Altina will be on the lead lap as well. He will be tagging in at the back. So 6 cars currently scored on the lead lap. There's not many left on the racetrack, for that matter. But we're down to 28 seconds left. They will not get another pace lap in before time expires. I just wonder, are we going to see the one attempt at a green-white checkered? Time has expired right now. Our data says this will be the last lap. However, the lights are out. We saw this in the TNT series not long ago. Not TNT, I forget which series it was. May have been Ezra. Where basically a race that had timed out had an overtime finish available, and they ran the overtime finish. What we could see is one of two things. We're either going to see a very short blast of green flag running. From the time the pace car makes the left-hand turn, race leader can take off, up to when the starter throws the green flag. We could see that from that green to the start-finish line as the green flag finish to the race. You could still potentially pass someone. What we could also see is a true green-white checker. There's only one attempt at it. So if a caution flag comes out on the first green flag lap, obviously that would then end the race. Basically, the next time by the start-finish line ends the race. You either get a white flag or you get a yellow and checkered flag together. Pace car is pulling in. Nate Sifker holding on to the lead, and it looks like, yep, it will be. Checkered flag flying this time. Sifker can wait as long as he wants. Now he can punch it up and go. He'll take the checkered flag, and Nate Sifker wins the Kill a Shrimp 200 at Michigan. Jonathan Gervin and James Watson will make up your top 5. Excuse me, your podium. 4th and 5th, Joshua Benjamin and Drew Halloran. But this is your race winner. Nate Sifker for Team Watson Racing. Nice job by that team to put 2 cars on the podium here tonight. Sifker gonna burn them down here at the start-finish line, and while he does that, we'll show you your race results. Sifker the winner over Gervin, Watson, Benjamin, and Holleran for the top 5. Only 6 cars on the lead lap, including Julian Altina. DL Lemon, the first car, 1 lap down. He was actually 3 down in the 7th position. Drew White, Mike Stroll, and Miles Morse complete the top 10. Austin Baker, Matt Houston, Dakota DeMeg, Bless Lopez, and Brandon Wengard back through the 15th position. 16 through 20 this evening. Chris Kresge, Rhett Nichols, Ryan Freeman, Joshua Tucker, and Daniel Miglin. Brent Kusick will be the final car to finish, and I believe that is a DQ to the 65 of Brent Kusick. He was only 4 laps down at the finish, but being scored in the 21st position. Second penalty of the night, avoidable contact penalty. So let's take a look here and see who we have to possibly talk to. I believe we have our race winner. We can bring him down into the booth with us. Let's take a look here and see if we have... Oh, there we go. We do have James Watson there as well, but let's bring in your race winner tonight, Mr. Nate Seifker. I hope I wasn't killing your name all night there, bud.
That one was right. I heard there might have been some problems, but that one was right. So there you go.
All right, good. I'm glad we weren't a total bunch of screw-ups this evening. Man, I'll tell you what, that race looked as completely insane as we might have thought here as we pick up the final yellow for the victory winners replay. Tell us about the race, man. I was expecting some strategy, some big pack racing, maybe a big wreck or two. We saw more wrecks than we thought, and it just seemed like it was total insanity behind the wheel.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Lots of different ideas how to run. You had some people that were, just wanting to run up front all night. You had some people that wanted to ride in the back. I was a bit of both. I could run in the back. I could run up front. I could go to the front. I could go to the back. So it was kind of just basically being chill with it, making sure that we had the runs when we needed to, and being up front when we needed to. That second to last yellow, it was the second last yellow that we had, was very beneficial for me. I had a black flag I had to serve, and as I'm serving it, the yellow came out. It was a 30-second hold, and it cleared it for some reason. So I got really lucky with that in the most part. So we didn't go down a lap, which let me stay on the lead lap there. So overall, it was a pretty fun race there. The last 5 laps there at the end, that was kind of crazy. Some questionable driving from everybody, basically. I think everyone was just trying their best to win there at the end, and everyone was doing what they can to win. So, it's pretty crazy there at the end. But you gotta do moves to make stuff happen, and that's what we did there at the end.
Well, I'll tell you what, a fantastic run here in the first Let's Race broadcast on the National Racing Network, and I would imagine you're probably looking forward to what's coming up in August with a shot at running for a real-world Spec Corvette drive.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, for sure. Josh and Kevin, those guys, they have run a great thing here, and it's a great opportunity for everybody, to go out and try to get that reward. It should be pretty awesome to see, everybody fighting for that, come August. That should be an interesting race, whatever that is. Of course, we don't know yet, but it should be fun. It should be exciting. Hopefully, it's pretty challenging. Hopefully, but hopefully it's a good race.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on picking up the win here tonight. And before we let you go, make sure you get those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, first off, I want to thank you for broadcasting. It's always fun to go back to watching through a race to see what you missed and hear other people talk about you and all that stuff. So thank you for broadcasting, of course. I want to thank the Team Watson Racing guys. That was all in there. Too many to count. Really, honestly, there's just a lot of people. So thank you to those guys, all of them. Jay Watson and literally everybody else that was in there. Thank all the guys that run this. Josh, Matt, Kevin, literally everybody that has a role in it. I want to thank them for putting this on, of course, and then thank my personal sponsor, the Midwest Kidney Warriors. I don't think I've ever had you on my broadcast, so I'll just briefly go into it, actually. Midwest Kidney Warriors is a nonprofit organization. Basically, it's a massive support group helping people that are in need of kidney transplants, helping them with tips and knowledge on how to best get a kidney transplant. I've seen it firsthand how well it's worked, so it's awesome to be able, when the opportunity arises, to run their colors and to share a great message to anyone who might be in need.
Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for sharing it with us. We appreciate that, and hopefully we're talking to you again here real soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. There's race winner Nate Seifker, and let's bring in the guy who finished third tonight, and I believe it was Nate that had the iRacing Top 10 save of the year, but James Watson was very close a couple of times tonight. James, congratulations on picking up the third place finish here tonight. You were sort of around the front most of the night, and then you kind of let everybody fall out around you, and you were up front there when the time came, when it came to it.
Yeah, that's always my strategy in races like this. Is I I can never really qualify well in these races, so I always gotta take a defensive measure and just kind of wait, hang around in the back. I hope I can get lucky and avoid all the incidents that are coming, and then try to get myself in position at the end. Yeah, it works pretty well. Just, wish I'm pretty satisfied with it. Obviously, you're always going to be disappointed as a racer when it ended under caution, but it's not anyone's fault. And I probably would have been hosed in some way if we had gone green again. So I'm happy.
Man, tell me what, this was fun, but you also got to drive one of these Spec Corvettes in the real world a handful of weeks ago. Tell us what the August race winner is in for.
Oh man, this car is absolutely incredible. You're gonna have so much fun, especially if you're not used to racing, or in my case, haven't been behind the wheel of a real race car in quite a while. It's gonna be the best thing ever. You're gonna feel like you're right back at home.
That's awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations once again on the podium here. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yes, sir. Got to thank everyone at Team Watson Racing and Team Watson Racing Setups. Check us out for all your setup help needs. Got to thank you, of course, one of our oldest partners here at NRN. Got to thank Let's Race, Martin Sports, Sim Racing Apparel, and Killer Shrimp for sponsoring tonight's event.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you getting the Killer Shrimp drop in there as well. We appreciate that. And let's talk to our runner-up finisher tonight here, Mr. John Gervin. Man, I'll tell you what, that race was interesting. You gained 14 spots from where you started tonight. Ultimately, passing was not exactly difficult, but talk us through how you were able to make your way forward and then keep the car up front, because you were up there for a good portion of the last hunk of the race.
Yeah, hey Chris, how's it going? Yeah, it was a crazy race. It was an interesting mixed bag of experience level on ovals. I think there were some guys that were primarily road disciplined, and some of us that come from fuel that were more on the oval game. So it was kind of interesting. I got caught up in an early wreck and had to use my fast repair pretty early. So I kind of rode around the back, expecting there to be some yellows, trying to avoid the mayhem. Let the field thin out a little bit since I was kind of at risk of getting wrecked with no fast repair. So I just kind of waited out some wrecks. Worked my way up slowly but surely, and then once we got down to, it would have been 20 to go, but with the time, it was only a few minutes left. That's when you just kind of got to throw caution to the wind, and worked out with dodging that last wreck.
Yeah, that was one of the things that came up in our winner's interview with Nate. Was the driving was really pretty insane. There was a lot of blocking, a lot of big runs. What was that like from behind the wheel of your number 24 machine?
Well, it was super fun. In practice, we had a lot of fun doing 4 and 5 wide moves, just to kind of figure out how the draft worked in these cars. They suck up really, really well and really fast. So really, you had to run 3/4 throttle if you didn't want to try to pass a guy to avoid getting too big of a run. So it was really fun. It can promote a really, really fun race, but it also presents the opportunity for some mayhem like we saw today.
Well, congratulations on picking up the podium finish here tonight. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, well, thanks to you first and foremost for broadcasting this, as well as our Fuel Racing League. It's always great having you guys call the race. You guys do a great job. Thanks for the host team that set this race up for us and allowed some of us not regulars to come over and run this race. It was a fun time in a car that we don't usually run on our side. Thanks to the whole DIR team. We worked pretty well together to kind of get this figured out and try to set ourselves up for the best possible finish. So it was a good night.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much for checking in with us. We appreciate that. And man alive, that was fun. I love the Lotus 79. It is one of the best cars on the iRacing platform. Everything about the car is great. You put it at Michigan, and you're going to get pack racing insanity. We saw some netcode stuff. That's kind of to be expected when you take a car that's not really designed for ovals and you put it out there. But all in all, absolutely incredible race here tonight. We got a lot of good action coming up for you this week on the National Racing Network as well. Tomorrow night, it will be the series finale of the Fuel Premiere Series. That will be coming up from, I believe, Homestead Miami Speedway. Wednesday night, we will be back in action with the Sim Racers Club. Follow that up on Thursday night with the Ezra IndyCar Series and the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Just look for content all week long from Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright, part of the guys from the High Side Hustle, talking everything Pennsylvania 410 Speed Week. The sprint cars are running all over the Keystone State, making a little dip into Maryland as well. I believe 10 races in 12 days or something like that. Absolute insanity. But looking forward to that. Unfortunately, BAP's raining out tonight. We'll be back in action tomorrow night. I believe it's at the Lincoln Speedway. Keep your eye out for the content there. Pizza at the Pagoda's coming back as well. You don't want to miss that one. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on. With that, we're getting out of here. For all of my in-race reporters here tonight and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these broadcasts happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.